Okay, chapter 3, John Straker's pockets. So pay attention, because usually in Sherlock Holmes, it's very important what we find in the pockets of the dead man. Okay, and remember, John Straker has been killed. Somebody killed John Straker, and the horse has disappeared, so we must find the horse. Very interesting, I said. This is Watson, by the way, speaking. I gave the papers back to Holmes and he put them away. So, Watson, what can you tell me? He asked. I thought for a minute. This cut on Straker's leg, perhaps he did it with his own knife. When something hits you very hard on the head and you have a knife in your hand, it can happen, you know. Very good, Watson. And that's bad news for Fitzroy Simpson. So, did Simpson do it, do you think? I asked. Perhaps, said Holmes. Let's look at it. Simpson puts opium in the boy's dinner. He goes away and comes back later in the night. He gets into the stables, takes the horse out, and leaves. But the trainer arrives at that moment, sees him, and follows him. The two men fight, and Simpson breaks Straker's head open with his stick. Then Simpson takes the horse, but where? Or did the horse run away? Is it still out on the moor? And how did Simpson get into the locked stables? I don't know, Watson, I don't know. We must wait and see. When we arrived at Tavistock Station, two men came to meet us. Inspector Gregory was a tall, slow-moving man with blue eyes, and Mr. Ross was small and quick. He was the first to speak. Very pleased to see you, Mr. Holmes. The inspector here is working hard, but we need help. We must find poor Straker's killer, and I want to find my horse. Is there any news? Asked Holmes. Let's talk on the way, the inspector said. I'd like to see everything in the daylight. We were soon out of the little town and up on the brown hills of the moor. A moor, by the way, is a large piece of land. Not many trees on a moor. It's a very flat, boring piece of land with not much on it, not many plants or trees or anything like that. And that's where the horse has disappeared. Okay, so Inspector Gregory thought that the killer was Fitzroy Simpson. Simpson was out in the rain that night. His suit was still wet on the Tuesday, he said. He had a big stick and his scarf was in the dead man's hand. That looks bad, Mr. Holmes, very bad. Holmes smiled. You need more than that, Inspector. The servant, Edith, spoke of an envelope. Did Mr. Simpson say anything about that? Yes, he said he had money in it. He had put a £10 note in it for the stable boy. What about this other training stables at Capleton? Asked Holmes. Does Simpson have friends there? No, we don't think so. We went to Capleton, of course. Their horse, Desborough, is the second favourite for the Wessex Cup, and Silas Brown, the trainer, was not friendly with John Straker. But we found nothing. When we arrived at King's Pyland, Inspector Gregory took us into the trainer's house. Straker's body is upstairs, he said, but we have here the things from his pockets and from the ground next to his body. Would you like to see them, Mr. Holmes?